guys, welcome back to another lesson. Today we're talking about tritones. Okay, so let's start it off. What is a tritone? So a tritone is pretty much that flat 5 interval. So if we're in the key of C, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to the 1. So the 5 is G. And if we flat that, that's kind of like in the middle of the scale. Half step. And if we do the backwards as well, half step. So it's kind of in the middle. You hear that a lot, and you hear a lot of dissonance right there. And that's with it as an inversion. All right, and so we can begin to incorporate those tritones in our playing. One of the most common ways you see that is when you're doing blues. So that tritone works well in a dominant 7 chord. So if we just take a standard C7, we can see the tritone right there in that shape. So a quick way to make a tritone using the 7 chord. So if we're in the key of C, we're going to find the 3 of C, which is E, and then we're going to find the flat 7 of C, which is B flat. So we need that that 3rd degree and the flat 7th degree. And if we add the 1, we typically have, that shell voicing. So if we take that 1 out, that C, with the flat 7 and the 3, we still hear that dominant 7 chord. So the only thing we're doing here, we're playing an inversion. So instead of playing the 3 and the flat 7, we're going to flip that. We're going to play the flat 7 and the 3. So we have the B flat and then the E. So the cool thing about that, when we're working with a blues, all 7 chords, we're going from the 1 to the 4. 1, 5, 4, and then 1. So the cool thing about that is our tritones are right next to each other. So we have the C tritone right here. Well, we have that C7. Half step down. Now we're over the 4. We're over that F7. Half step back up. We're back at that C. Half step up. Now we're at the 5. Whole step to the 4. Now half step back to the 1. So just by moving half steps, we can play the 1, 4, and 5 right there. So let's do a little groove right there. Cool. So just like we talked about those inversions. So here we have the shell voicing of a C7. Root position of that F7. Whole step up. Root position of that G7. So we can take those same shapes and do that while root for C is on the A string. So we go down here to the 3rd fret. So now our tritone is here. The 3 and the flat 7. Half step down. We have that shell voicing for the F, F7. Whole step up to the G7. So that same idea. Half step down to the 4. Back up to the C. G. messed that up a little bit at the end, but you get the idea. So we just did the same idea right there over that C at the 9th fret, or I'm sorry, the 8th fret, and then C at the 3rd fret. Cool. So now we can play a blues just by moving half steps using the tritones. Another example you might have seen it. One of my more popular videos is that, you know, the traditional gospel progression where we go. So with that progression, we're going from the 1 to the 6, 2, 5, and then back to the 1. So if you haven't seen that video, that breakdown, I'll post a link somewhere up there so you guys can check that out. But let's start to incorporate the tritone right there. So going back to that C7 tritone, we could take that C7 and walk it all the way down to the A7. Now we're over to 2. So only going down half steps. A7, half step down to the D7, that's the 2. G7, back to the 1. Or if we want to make it bluesy, so half steps all the way down. 2, 5, 1, 4, back to the 1. So just by walking that tritone all the way down, we were able to kind of do secondary dominance. With the exception of that chromatic from C to A7. But these were just a couple ideas just to throw what a tritone is, you know, that flat 7 interval, and how you can begin to incorporate that into your playing. So I hope you guys are having a good time practicing right now. You know, keep tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.